Right. Should be good to get started. All right. Let's pull this up. All right. So today, the main problem we're going to solve for using Zoho CRM and Zoho Books is the possibility of errors caused by double entry between your CRM and accounting systems. Now, the way we're going to tackle this problem is by two-way syncing Zoho CRM and Zoho Books using Zoho's built-in integration. And to start with, we're going to just kind of go over the sync and how it actually works, and also best practices and rules to using it so that you get the most out of it. Now, that second part is probably the most important step to note, and the reason being is your mileage using this integration may vary in terms of the quality of the benefits you receive if you don't actually adhere to those best practices. So you may need to slightly alter your processes in order to accommodate, but I am sure that once these are second nature, it's going to be a far better setup than you're currently doing and about half the work as far as manual data entry. So to get started, let's move this over here. And then we're going to head over to Marketplace and then up to Zoho. You're going to scroll down, you're going to see the Zoho Finance Suite. And another thing I'm going to do is duplicate my tab down here just for a second. Now we're going to click on Setup under Zoho Finance Suite, and the first page that opens is just going to be a kind of general overview of all the different applications and solutions that Zoho offers in their Finance Suite. So you can see Zoho Invoice. This is Zoho's GST compliant invoicing software. We got Zoho Billing, which is a billing software that is catered to companies that have like a monthly reoccurring kind of like subscription model where they're paying month to month or they're paying once a year, and that's a reoccurring business model. Then we've also got Zoho Expense, which is their GST compliant online expense reporting software. And then Zoho Inventory, which covers everything from actual physical inventory counts to shipping and tracking of those shipments, things like sales orders, purchase orders, anything to do with like managing an actual physical product. Now, what we're going to be working with is Zoho Books, which is their online accounting software. It's similar to like Sage or QuickBooks. And so what we can do is start by hitting Setup and Proceed. You're going to choose an organization and then hit Next. Now, first, you're going to choose what finance modules you'd like included. Like I said, we're just going over, let me close that second tab. Like I said, we're just going over the invoice, quote, sales order, and purchase order powered by Zoho Books. But you've also got expense and expense reporting with Zoho Expense, subscriptions and recurring billing with Zoho Billing. And like I said, with inventory, products, stock updates, sales orders, packages, shipments, invoices, and purchase orders with Zoho Inventory. You can use one of these or you can use all of them. It's just a matter of your specific use case and what makes the most sense for you. Now, for the Zoho Books, there are three main parts. You've got your account and contact sync. What this does is it takes the information from your account and contacts module and it creates a customer card in Zoho Books, which tracks a customer or a client, an account, which would be the company, and your primary billing contact, which is where the contact, uh, module comes into play because that's your primary billing contact for that client. So we're going to go in, click the little settings icon in the top right corner, or it might say setup settings. And this very first drop down, it says which modules are needed to synchronize with Zoho Finance Suite. Your options are going to be account, your accounts module, contacts module, or a combination of both the accounts and their contacts. So most use cases you're going to be using most likely the accounts and their contacts. Now, right below that, you're going to notice a checkbox, and this setting says include contacts which are not associated to any accounts. So for example, where this might get used would be, say you have two separate sales pipelines, one for B2B and one for B2C contacts. Now, your B2C sales pipeline might include individuals that you're trying to sell your service or your product to that aren't business owners, or the business that they're providing isn't for their workplace and their place of business. So those B2C, if you have a B2C sales pipeline, like a consumer sales pipeline, you might want to create customer cards using your just accounts. So like if a contact exists that's not linked to an account, it would automatically create a customer card for them in Zoho Books. Now next, you're going to see which records need to be synchronized. And what this does is it asks for a view and the records within it to pull and automatically create contacts or customer cards with. Now, this is important too, and we're going to actually go through and set something up real quick to prep for the next step. But you can create a custom view that doesn't include, say, prospects instead of clients and customers. And this is important because if you have a contact that the contact type is a prospect, they're pre-sales or sales, pre-sales would be leads, but if they're in the sales process and they're a contact, you don't want those showing up in Zoho Books as customer cards because they haven't either purchased your service and subscription or they haven't actually purchased anything from you. They're not a customer or client yet. So that's actually where we're going to start next. We're going to go over here into CRM. Let's go over to modules. And actually, to do this part, we're going to do two things. We're going to open this up. We're going to do new group. We're going to do CRM. Or no, we're going to do accounts. There we go. Then we're going to do duplicate. Do the same thing for. And also, let's expand this. There we go. So accounts, and we're going to do the same thing for contacts. Group contacts. Now, I'm going to Control Shift, click. We're going to open this up in a new tab. Same thing here. And we'll go to modules. Now we're going to go to contacts. I'll actually drag this down here, get rid of this setup page. We're going to do accounts as well. And we'll keep that here, get rid of that. Now we're going to click in to the standard layout for the accounts. And so the first thing that we're going to need is a way to identify what accounts we want to create customer cards out of in Zoho Books. The way that we're going to do that is we're going to do a pick list, which is a single select. And we're just going to type in account stage. And this may look like a prospect. So prospect, maybe prospect DNC. Let's create we'll do 1, 2, 3 of these, and maybe client active. Maybe these are people who've done business with you in the past quarter, month, whatever it is that dictates an active versus inactive client. Inactive. And then maybe client DNC. Maybe they purchased a product from you and they weren't happy. Your support process was client, whatever the reason may be. Maybe there's a client that is no longer a client in DNC. Now, out of these, we're probably only going to need something like active and prospect just to demo this. And we can even get rid of active and just do client or customer and prospect. So hit done. Oh, duplicate label found. Interesting. We're going to do one, find that unused field. I guess I had done this at some point. Let's delete that. Yeah, it's fine. We're going to drag this in here. Yep, see, client prospect, I had already done that. My bad. All right. So go ahead, delete permanently. So we got our account stage, and what we're going to want to do is hit save. And then we're going to come down and do the same exact thing for our contacts module. Let's see if I have. I'm prepping for this. Yep, contact stage, same deal. And you can sync these two with an action so that if one updates, say the account level updates from prospect to client, you could have it automatically go in and essentially update every contact associated with that account to also become a client so that they're in sync. You have a contact stage and a account stage. There's ways of doing that. That's not what we're covering today. But the reason for these is so we can create custom views that will only show the accounts and contacts based off of criteria that we want to actually include and become customer cards in Zoho Books. So what we can do is start with our accounts. We're going to go to here, and we're going to go to here. And again, it looks like I may have already created one. So all this is account stage is equal to client. And that way, if it's a prospect, they've never actually done business with you, it's not going to be part of the list that is pulled from to two-way sync records with in CRM and Zoho Books. So if we hit save, we can also go down to contacts, and I probably have done the same thing here for contacts. Does not look like I have. So we're going to do new custom view. We're going to do contact, customer contact list, we'll say. Customer contact list. All right, then we're going to do contact stage is, and then we're going to do client. And then you could also have plus is not or doesn't contain, contact DNC or client DNC, as well as prospect DNC and prospect. This way you can ensure it includes what you want it to, and it's also accounting for making sure it doesn't include anything else, just to mind your P's and Q's. So we can go ahead and hit save. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a few things. We're going to create an account, and we're going to do, why don't we just do the marks group? There we go. Do that. And then we don't need to set anything else up. I just want the marks group, hit save. Then we're going to scroll down to contacts, and we're going to create a new contact instead of assign one. We'll do contact name as, we'll do contact as last name, and then test as first name, test contact, and they work at the marks group. We'll include my email address. There we go. Perfect. So now we have test contact at the marks group, and we're going to also want to set up a new test vendor. We'll do test vendor and hit save. We're going to also go down to products and create a few test products. So we'll do test product 1, and we'll give it a price. Unit price will be, say, 10,000. It's going to be associated with vendor name test vendor. Save. Then we're going to go through and create test product 2. Create product. We'll do test product 2. Vendor name, test vendor. We'll do 20,000 for this one. Then hit save. One more time, we'll do test product 3. Create. We'll do test vendor again. Hit save. Oh, first we'll do 30,000. There we go. Now, the reason I had done this is because I want some information within this system. Oh, and one important thing to do is also go to all contacts or all accounts, and this is all demo data, so you don't have to worry about that. We're going to update this account stage to client, and then hit save. We're going to do the same thing for our test contact. All contacts. Test contact. Contact stage will be client instead of prospect. This way we know that only paying customers or clients and accounts will end up showing up in Zoho Books. So now if we go to all contacts and go to customer contact list, then we can go here to client contact list. Let's update this so it's the same. We'll do customer account list instead of client. Hit save, just because they're called customer cards and books. All right, so Customer account list, our new custom view we're syncing to, the Marks group, perfect. Same thing, customer contact list, test, perfect. All right, so next we got our vendors and our products, which should sync over into Zoho Books as well. Here is, we'll go like this, and we're going to drag you way down here. We're going to do new tab group, integration, setup. Let's turn you red. We'll do CRM as blue and contacts as blue. And then we're going to go here to books.zoho.com. All right, perfect. Now, if we come back to our integration here, we're going to just hit back and then go back into that setup so that our custom view is added to the list. So now when we go in, we should see our created by me customer account list, customer contact list. Now the next thing we need to set up is how the integration is going to essentially handle conflicts in information or duplicate entries. Personally, I would suggest overwriting. This means if you have it as clone, you're going to end up with duplicates, potentially having duplicates. And if you hit skip, I don't suggest using these two because you're either going to create duplicates potentially, or you're going to have missing information because it skipped it when it shouldn't have. So we're going to do overwrite for now. And this all depends on your specific system. I'm going to do delete the contacts in Zoho Finance Suite, pushed using prior settings. So this will be a fresh sync. And then down below here, you have all the fields that are inside of Zoho Books, and you can map these fields with existing fields in your accounts module or within your contacts module. First is accounts, then contacts. And this allows you to really pick and choose where all of these are being pulled from. Maybe for address, you want address to only be stored on your account and not your contacts. Or maybe for some reason it's the other way around. This allows you to control where that information is stored in CRM and which fields in Zoho Books it's going to be two-way synced to. Now from here, we can just go ahead and hit save. That's all right. I selected overwrite. And we're essentially just going to be doing the same exact thing in vendors. We're going to just choose all vendors for now. But again, maybe you have a list of vendors that you want included in your price books and stuff in books. However it is you'd like, we're just going to do all vendors for now and overwrite. And then hit done, hit OK. And the last one will be product sync. And those are those three test products. We're just going to choose overwrite. And this will create your item book in Zoho Books, and it will be matched and synced with your products module in CRM. Now, all these have yet to be synced, and before I go over the next two settings here, I'm just going to go ahead and where is the save button? I got to save. So when I hit save, it'll go through and sync all of this. But the next thing is your quotes, how you want to handle invoices and quotes. So the way out of the box it's set up is you have your sales pipeline. And so when stage is project/price quote, it's going to actually create a quote in Zoho Books automatically just from that opportunity or deals module stage, going from, say, qualification to proposal and pricing quote. We got when stage is close one, it will actually accept that quote. And if it's close lost or close lost to competition, it will void the quote created in the create a quote stage there. You can also set it up so that it will create or void an invoice automatically when a deal is won or lost, respectively. Personally, I'd start with this. And then you also got to dictate whether or not you're using Zoho inventory. If you're selling physical products, you're going to use Zoho inventory as its own solution because it's a bit more comprehensive and offers more than Zoho CRM's inventory module. Maybe you don't want to see any of those products in your inventory module in CRM and instead want it just pulled from inventory, in which case you can click on hide them, no need for them anymore. or keep them, which is what I'm going to choose for now. I'm still using them as well. So we can hit save and hit OK. And this should start syncing. Yep, sync in progress. And what we can do is hit refresh, and this shouldn't take very long because there's not a whole lot to sync. It still says in progress. And the way we can check this is if we go to items here. All right, so it looks like products is already done syncing. We can go to sales and go to customers. The marks group, perfect. Quotes, there's nothing because we haven't done anything with that yet. Invoices. And then there was one more, I think vendors. Let's make sure. Items. Maybe vendors is a field. Should be here somewhere. Purchases, vendors. There it is. So then there's our test vendor as well. All right. So now we know that everything has synced as it should. And another way we can test this is if we go to customers, let's do one more for each of these. And let's go into Zoho CRM, not the integration page. Let's go to accounts, go to all accounts list. All accounts. We're going to go to say King, and we'll throw them in. Actually, I think we've already used them. Let's go to say Felt's Printing Services. They have a deal. Contact, they got everything they need. Let's change the account stage to client. Check. And then let's go to their contact and change their contact stage to client as well. Hit update. Client, perfect. All right, so now we should be able to go to books, hit refresh. The marks group. So we might need to go in. So this has a schedule that once a day it should sync. Either that or it's every few hours. I'd have to look into that to get you an exact number. But it's actually not going to let me while it's syncing do anything. So let's hit refresh on this page to see if that'll stop. But first things first is we can hit sync now here. And then we can also check to see if these end up in the right list by going to here, customer account list, and they're both there. And now that we have synced that, and let's just check accounts or customer contact list as well. Yep, they're both there as well. So now if we hit refresh here in books, it should be synced. There you go. All right. So how does this integration actually work? Now in practice, if you are here, remember I had said if we go to accounts and we click on, say, the marks group, now this has no deals set up. So let's start with setting up a deal for this account. We just hit the plus. We're going to do no money amount. We're just going to do qualification stage. Deal name, we're going to do test deal and hit save. Oh, I got to do a closing date, so we'll do Friday, hit save. Now, right here, we can go down to products. Let's add some products to this deal. We'll add one of each. Hit add to account. Now, when we move this product stage, if we go to this deal, that's the marks group. Oh, we're still on the account. All right, let's remove these products. That is my bad. Exit. That's unassign, unassign, unassign. There we go. Let's move to the deal associated, test deal. And then here we're going to add products. Do add products. I'm going to choose one of each. Hit add to deal. And that should be about 60,000. I think it's 10, 20, and 30. Hit OK. Now, when this deal stage moves to proposal / price quote, it should automatically create a quote within Zoho Books. So if we now go to quotes, there it is. And it's got an automated number. You got test deal, 60,000 is your quote. And then the invoice will include all the individual actual, what's it called? Individual like products and line items for each. So if we're looking here, let's go back to customers, then quotes again. You'll see it says draft status. You can set up for it to be automatically like sent to the client and then approved in that type of workflow. Another option is if it goes to closed one. This is out of the box. You can hit save, and you'll notice here, if we refresh this page, instead of draft, it's now going to say accepted. Now, from accepted, you can have it trigger and send an invoice automatically, or we can send an invoice manually, have like, say, CRM create a task to send out that invoice. Now, if we go back to the account page, so we'll just go back one. Now we're on the Marks group. You'll notice down here it says Zoho Finance. This is a new related list that has to do with any information that's stored within Zoho Finance Suite, which is Zoho Books, or any of the other solutions that you decide to integrate. So let's hit refresh one more time. There it is, and there's your quote and estimate. If you click on that, it's going to actually open that quote up, and it will show the quote, and you can go ahead and hit send email and send it. Now, if we go back to the accounts, you can also manually create these and send them out. So you could actually come down to finance, click on, say, new invoice or new estimate, and it'll create that quote or estimate. Let's go ahead and we'll check out invoices. So go ahead and send the invoice. Now you can have this pull from the drafts, like the actual products that were attached. But yeah, you could click test product 1, add a description, add another line. We'll do test product 2, add another line, description, test product 3, description. And then you've got your functional quote, which includes your taxed amount if you tax on your products. And you can either hit save or save and send. If you hit save and send, it should send to my email. I'll hit save and send. The invoice has been created. Invoice has been sent. And then you can hit send here. And I'll open up that email in another tab and then show it to you. Let's do that so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Okay. Got the invoice email here. Go ahead and I'll paste that URL here so you can see what it looks like. If it decides it wants to load, that is. Well, let's try that again. That was weird. Let's do Gmail. Let's try that one more time. There we go. I'll just drag and drop that right here. So here is our invoice email. Got the attachment of the actual PDF as well as your general overview. If they click on the PDF itself, they'll get the actual document and invoice, which has all your notes, products, quantity numbers, as well as your totals here. Now, that's pretty much it as far as that built-in integration goes. There's a lot more that you can do with this. You could set up functions in CRM that once this occurs, then it does something outside of the built-in integration. But that's not really what we're going over today, and this is pretty much the brunt of the built-in integration. As I had shown you, there's other things that you can set up, as well as other solutions that we're not covering today. Maybe we'll cover in a future video. But that's really pretty much it, is it just allows you to operate only out of one solution, which would be CRM as your central business hub, and pretty much do all of your finance operations within CRM. And since all of that finance data is within CRM, you can also build actionable reports and dashboards using the built-in analytics module within CRM as well. So there's a lot that can be done past this, but this will at least allow you to operate out of one solution instead of having to have multiple windows and multiple, softwares open and being worked out of simultaneously. So that's pretty much it. And if you have any questions, you can ask them after we post this on our YouTube video, and there'll also be a contact form included in the description of that video. And that's about it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.